So, okay pa? Kaya pa? Maminaw?
G lang, sir.
Okay, gamay lang, kadiyot lang, tapos stop na ta. Okay, so this time we'll discuss about if wala na mo ano sa loops, and then let's discuss methods. Okay. So, oops, wala na ako na. Okay, so actually, when we talk about methods, methods are written codes put in a single unit, and it must have a name. And once you call it, it is going to invoke an action. So, meaning to say, the one that I've actually done or earlier, katong tago and tago one, it's actually a form of a method. So, when we talk about method, there are two types of methods. Okay? So, number one, type is types of method. Number one is, of course, um, predefined. Okay? Predefined. The other one is user defined. So this predefined are built-in methods. Okay, built-in. Okay, built-in methods. Kaning user-defined programmers uh, programmers created method. So this is what we create. So kaning predefined or built-in, these are created by programmers of Java. Okay? So actually some of which are or where we already use them. Like show message dialog, show input dialog, next int, no? Kaning mga scanner. So you have scanner, let's say SC is equal to new scanner system dot in. Ayan. So we can see a lot of methods of belongs to scanner. So ayan, has next, has big integer, blah, 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 next int, next big integer, yan, mga next float, next double, next short. These ones are built-in methods. Sa scanner pa lang na, no? So, how about like sa string, no? Let's say string str. So, str dot. So, they have methods, char at, code point at, char. So, compared to ignore case, lowercase to uppercase. So there's actually a lot, no? So daghan kayo og mga methods that are built in. So that is not what we are going to do right now. So what we're going to do is we are going to create our own method. So we'll focus on the user-defined method. Okay. So when we talk about user-defined method, it's just a simple programming. However, you organize your codes into a method. So it's like having a kuan gani like cabinet, tapos imong cabinet na ay mga subdivisions. Kasi without subdivisions, dili nimo ma-organize imong mga clothes, no? Sige. So first, for an instance, basic simple lang na mga method. So dili lang sa ako mag-get delve into katong mga lisod na mga methods. So for instance, I'm going to create a method that displays usually kung may yung tag I want to display uh, a message. Let's say uh, this is a this is a method. Okay, so now actually print line is a method, so this is a method, something like that. Now if I wanna create a method that displays this is a method, I can just create this one after public static void main or before public static void main. So either way around, pwede sa dire, pwede rin po sa baba. Okay? So we'll start with this public. Usually we create methods as public. Okay? So for now, public sa ato ang method. Pero pwede nimo siya i-private, pwede mo i-protected. Pero but for now, again, let's make it public. And then, na method na static, na po non-static. So since usually, ang atong main kay static man, static lang sa atong buhaton. Kay static, let's say void display. Okay? So now, I wanna I'm going to put here, this is a method. So I have here display. If I'm going to call that display something or this one, I just wanna call it here. So method will invoke an actions once it is called. Okay, so methods that display. So if I'm going to like remove this one or something like ano ni mo na, di mo expand, so you only see method that display, then I'll be able to display this is a method. So another one, tawagon ako siya multiple number of times. Method that display. So this will give me three display of this is a method. So yan, no? That's an activator of a method. Pwede na ako na siya ibutang sa loop, pwede na ako siya ibutang sa any construct. Mag-if condition ko na i-display, tawagon ako na method. So see, method will only behave there and it will execute or invoke an actions once you actually call that one. So if dili na ko na siya tawagon, it will just remain there. It will not do anything. Okay, another one, if I'm going to, let's say, call another or create another method, let's say this is display message, and then it will have this one, string str. I'm going to pass a message through it, and then something like I will put here, you type, let's say, str. And then, based on our methods, I have display and I have display message. And I want to call display message instead of display. So the only thing I would do is this methods that display message. And I will put here, uh, let's say, hello there. So the only thing that is going to be to invoke an action is of course this display method, and of course it will display whatever I will pass. So it will say something like hello there, pasan niya as a value of str, and then it will display you type hello there. So that's it, you type hello there. So if in case you take input from the user, let's say string input input sige, input string na lang, j option pane, j option pane, uy, asa naman si the option pane, tora day, that show input. So let's say type, enter message. So I will assign this one with input string. Okay, so if I'm going to run the program now, this will ask me enter a message, hi, thank you for attending the sync session. Okay, so okay. So this will display hi, you type, ayan. You type thank you for attending sync session. So of course, that is meaningful for now. Like kung sa man na program, sir, you just type something and it will display something. It will display what you type. So it's like nag-J option paint ko, then i-show message dialog na ko. Yes, it is. But the idea there is you actually organize your codes. No? I mean, the one that you're seeing in the main is only those methods that you want to call. And did you know that a program must be organized with like methods? Because if you don't organize your program with methods, there is really tendency na these things right here or this block right here will get messy. Daghan na kay siya og codes nimo, and then it will be difficult for you to trace, to manage them. Okay, so that's just an activator, and later on as we go along you will understand more. Okay, so another example is, let's say I wanna display something like I wanna reverse the string. Okay, so let's say for an instance I will put here input string, and I'm going to reverse the string. Let's say public void reverse. Okay. And then I'll put here string str. So now, if I'm going to reverse the string, of course, I will have here loops. Okay. So for int I is, let's say, the length of the string. And then I'll have here I greater than or equal to 0. And then I minus minus. So I'm going to put here, let's say, string ref, which is sa inyuhang, what they call this one, murag ako ning gibutang sa inyuhang removal. Pero ang uban na biktima, i-reverse nila bisan wala good to gi-reverse dapat. Gi-reverse to siya pero akong gitawag ang string, dili ang reverse. Okay? Na biktima to sa inyo daghan. Okay? So let's say I have here I. So nganong wa to na reverse because akong gitawag instead na reverse str akong gitawag. Okay? Nakuha to ninyo?
Yes, sir.
Daghan na biktima. Kay tungod reverse, reverse po nila. Pero wala na patik-atik ra dito. Okay? Okay. So, yan. So, kung syempre kung str ako ibutang diri katong original ang i-display. Pero kung ibutang na ko diri reverse, katong reverse ang katong i-reverse na string. Okay? So, now if I wanna call it reverse lang, so katong reverse lang ako ang tawagon. So, methods that reverse. Asa mga reverse? Okay. Kasi naka-static. Unya na lang ng dili static ha. Tudloan ta mo ana. Don't you worry. So, methods that reverse. Okay? So, if I'm going to run that one, so those codes na kani sila, dili na tutawagon. Ang only thing na tawagon is katong gi-reverse na ko na string. Like kana. Okay? Let's say, Java. Okay. Enter. Avage. Okay? So, now, notice that unsay ano ato sir. So imagine imuhang main karon doesn't have any codes there na like nagloop ka. So it is created as a method now. So na-organize nimo siya into method, and if ever natawago nimo siya like multiple number of times sa imong program, you can just call it anytime you want. So let's say nakay mga condition na if gusto nimo ipa-reverse, so tawagon na lang nimo ang method that reverse instead of imong buhaton kay balik-balikon nimo siya. Example, nag-reverse ka. Tapos sa another part sa imong program, so mag-reverse na pud ka. Okay, something i-reverse na pud nimo. So again, you will create another loops na pud, di ba? You will create another loop. So blah blah blah, na kay another loop na pud diri para mag-reverse. So kung gamito na po na nimo sa imong next line sa statement, imo na po na siyang mag-loop na po ka na mag-reverse. So dili nimo siya matawag anytime. Okay? So that's the idea of a method. So kung nahimo na nimo siyang method, you can just call it anytime you want if you want it na imo siyang gamiton. Nakuha ninyo, na-appreciate niyo ang method? Guys? Same sa C++, tama?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mas limpyo siya.
Mas limpyo siya. Okay, very good. And yeah, I guess that's something na naa sa C++. They only nag-differ diri is katong non-static and static. So now, sa methods na tayo ginatawag na katong ginatawag na value returning, non-value returning, and with parameter and without parameter. Tama? No? So, recall pa to ninyo. Okay. If you can still recall it, example, so para maanuhan. So, this one is, let's say, public static non-value returning without parameter. Yan. So walay non-value returning method without parameter. So basta void gani non-value. So napoy ang itong buhaton na isa is um, non-value returning with parameter naman. So definitely na siya parameter. Example int x, int y. Yan. Okay? So ang another variation sa what you call this one sa method is value returning. Okay? So value returning without parameter. So pwede na wala siya parameter pero it returns a value. So karon kung mayroon kag value returning, it should not be void. Dapat kay kani siya na part rin dapat either string, either int, wait, string, int, double, char, boolean, bool di ay, long, byte, short, okay, even array list or what. So kana lang sa so it should not be defined as void. So kung gusto ka na mag-return siya string, string. Kung gusto ka mag-return og int, int. Kung double, double. So if that is the case na int iyang i-return, then expect na dapat ang i-return niya is an integer value. Okay? So for now, wala sa tagib na buhat ana basta just an idea of how you create your method. Okay? So now, let's have another method na value returning, and let's say this also return an integer pero this will have parameter. So most definitely I'll just copy paste this one as my parameter. Okay, now what will I do with this one? Example, na ako'y value returning without parameter dire. Usually, pag non-value returning without parameter, ang processing niya is inside of this method. Okay? Example, I will take input from the user. Okay, may kong input sa user, let's say x, integer that parse int is equal to j option pane. Okay. Ay, anong string man eh? Yan. Tapos int y, yan. Yan. So, after which, i-display na ko siya as sa akong program. Show message null tapos the sum of x and y is, let's say, x plus y. Example lang, isum lang nako siya para dali. And then with no? So naadri ang input, napodri ang processing at the same time mag-output ka. So pwede nimo nagbutang ka diri additional int z is equal to x plus y. Okay? Like para butang na lang nimo diri is z. Yan. Okay? So depende sa inyong logic gihapon. Now here sa program nato na or sa non-value returning, pwede na inani na lang imong buhaton. So you have there the sum of x and y is z. Ayan. So wala diri ang input but the processing is here and then i-output lang nimo siya on sa result. Now here naman is without parameter, same or similar ani siya, and then instead of i-display, i-return nimo ang value na z, dili nimo siya i-display. Okay? So with this, pwede ra gani nimo siya i-return nimo return x plus y. Or simply, pwede nimo return z. Kay naman kay z dire. But again, it depends sa imuha. Okay? So depende sa imong logic. So na dire ang so since this is value returning, it will return a value. So definitely, since it's integer, ang i-return po dapat niya ang integer value, which is value after adding some x and y. Now, the same with the here, pero dire with value returning. So the good thing about value returning is you can just do like something like this, x plus y. Okay? So, return x plus y. As easy as that. Inana naman niyang buhaton, di ba? Mag-sum lang man, mag-return lang mag-value after adding x and y. So, mao lang nato i-display x and y. So, if ever na mag-return mo og value or mag-ano mo na ang i-return is like string, you can do this one, no? Like, return the, kopyahan na to ning the sum of x and y is, so the sum of x and y is x plus y, something like that. So value returning parameter, let's say string, at tumutag s, ayan. So you have now different methods and different techniques how to create methods. So it's all up to you unsa nimo unsa sa imong tawagon, but most definitely they are all the same. Only that lahi-lahi sila og ways of giving you what they call this one, pareharas la pero lahi lang sila og kanang style, no? Okay? So, right here, if I'm going to call this kani siya, no need na mag-input ko. Okay? Kaning duha ka buok kani sila. Kaning without parameter. Pero kato mga with parameter, required to siya na mag-input ko dire and then ipasa na ko ang value. So, inana iyang ginabuhat. So, example I'll call non-value returning. Kani pinakauna. Okay? So, we have methods that value non-value returning without parameter. So, as simple as this, i-run ako ang program, unsa may codes ato inside of it, mao to yang buhaton. So, type a value 4, 5. So, the sum of 4 and 5 is 9. So, that's the first loop. Okay? Now, I'm going to call this one. Second, loop na noon. Second method with x and y. So, most definitely, dapat mangayo kong value. So, mao na disadvantage lang niya. It's because before I can pass a value to it, dapat nasa ako'y value na ipasa sa iya. So, methods that non-value returning with parameters x and y. So, again, this is the first one, 6 and 8. So the sum of 6 and 8 is 14. And kani siya is katuning ikadua. So which is definitely the same. Only that you take input outside of the method and then you pass this value to your method as it is expected to accept x and y value of integer type. Okay? So that's the first two methods. Sige, next method, kani sila. So this method naman is a non-value returning method. So almost the same ani. Okay? So ako lang sa aning i-stop. I mean So this time, it's value returning without, I said value returning, yeah. What value returning without parameter. So value returning without parameter. So it's going to return a value and then hopefully it display. Pero based sa atong program, dili siya mag-display. It only returns a value. Wait. Ayan. So let's say 6 and 9. But it does not give you anything because it just returned the value, but it doesn't mean you actually display it in a show message dialog. So that is why pwede ka magbutag in z is equal to something like this and then put here G option pane that show message. Okay, so pwede nimo directly ibutang diri ang kanina na code. Okay, pwede nimo siya ibutang dira or simply pwede na z na lang direct. So instead kasi whatever is the value i-return ani ipasa niyo sa z and then mo tong i-display sa z. Okay, which is ang base sa kani ingon niya. So mangayo siyang input sa kanina method x and y, i-return niya ang value sa z. So, by the way, pwede na dili ni z, pwede ni a, pwede ni sum, depende sa imo ha. It's all up to you kung unsa ang ano. Ang i-return niya is sum. So, only the number, okay? So, let's say 3, 5. So, that's, wala iingon na the sum is. So, pwede ka magbutang og the sum. Pero, of course, you will have to put it here. The sum is. Yan. Okay? Now, let's proceed to the last one, value returning with parameter. So kung value returning with parameter ka, this would be something like the same to this one. Kani. Okay? So because you will be asking an input from the user, and at the same time it will return a value. So most definitely it's like something like this one. Kani, no? So ibutang nimo na siya dra, and then you copy paste this one. Wait, dapat yung option pane. Asa naman to? Yan, this one. Okay? And then butang ipasa na lang ako ni int add is equal to, then add. Okay? Para di mo ma-confuse sama kung gamit dito, diri add. Okay? So, value returning with parameter. So, kani ang gitawag. Ang iyang gina-return is diretso x and y. So, kung wala ko'y the sum is, ang i-display niya diretso number. Pero since na ko'y the sum is, ang i-display niya katong number na gi-add. Okay? So, and 5, 8. Yan. Sum is 13. And then, ang lastly, I mean, dili ni siya appeal, pero it's value returning. Pero remember, this is something na ang gina-return supposed to be integer, which is dapat katong parehas ni. Pero instead, string akong gigamit. Okay? This is still value returning with parameter pero with s. So karon, it's like what you have to do with this one is this one. So int x, int y, and then let's say int add. Tapos instead of mayong kag the sum is, pwede na diretso na lang ka add. Pero with if you're going to put here s, this is not compatible anymore because you passed here, you pass it to an integer value, pero based sa imong is it's a string. So dapat i-change mo nimo na siya into a string. Okay, para compatible siya. Kay kung sa iyang i-return mo puto ang dapat imuhang i-storan sa value na i-return ato niya na value para they are compatible. So that is why if i-ano na ko add, ayan, so I don't give anything na the sum is because it's already here in the string value returning. So when I will run this one, so 6 and 8, so the sum of 6 and 8 is 14. Yeah, so that's it for now. Kay alauna na. Pero sa pila na ka oras na ang almost 3 hours na ta nag-talk. And then we'll discuss further sa next meeting nato. And then array, and then yun, mga ano na ta, kanto ng focus na ta sa project. Sige. Question.
Sir.
And so
Wala
far,
na, sir.
sir.
Oh, sige, makita man nyo ang recording ani no, ay dili di ay no. So
Ay, sir,
hulat lang
nakoy
mo sa
pangutana, sir.
Oo po.
Kanang mga method, sir, pares na po na sa C++, sir. Pwede siya mataas sa main.
Pwede ma?
Pwede siya ibutang sa taas sa main.
Oo, pwede, pwede. Very good question. So, pero ang sa C++ manggod, kung di nimo siya ibutang sa taas sa main, kay dapat i-declare nimo siya dito dapat sa taas, no?
Yes,
Dire
sir.
sa
I-declare ni mo
Java,
daan.
very good. Sa Java, kay pwede ra wala, even sa baba siya. Basta gawa siya sa public static void main. Ayan. Very good question. Sige, unsa pa man? Sige, kana lang sa siguro kay I hold much of your time. And yeah, sa Saturday naman ko'y klase sa 2552B, murag dako-dako among oras ana, alas 4 hangtod alas 8 ba sinaboy time. I-invite lang punta mo kasi it might be something na lahi po namong masturyahan dito compare sa inyo ha. Depende sa ilang gusto, sa ilang gusto ipabuhat sa ako ah. Okay, I'll be asking the same sa kung giingon sa inyo sa inyong gusto makatunan karon ay expound para so inana that's 4 to 8. Pero usually di ko naman og 8 kay kapoy na po siya istorya, pero I'll try na 4 to 8 para ma-cover na ko tanan, and then I can just share to you the video para inyo na lang tan-awon for elaboration. Okay? Sige. Napay question? Wala na.
Wala naman, sir.
Wala na. Sige. So, thank you guys for staying this much or this long. I appreciate it. Unta na minaw. So, dili lang kayo come here for a show na nag-attendance ta. So, sige daw be. Tanaw